This nigga is walking down the street with a speaker and neon lights playing that bullshit. If you don't get your ass from off my block, what up, y'all? What up? Come on in here. Come on in here. Come on in here. Let the notifications go out. What's up, Rob? What's up, Devin? Dre Day? Devin up in this. Devin Haley up in this bitch. What's up? What's up, expert? What's up, Twizzle 800? American Negro. Yeah, so what's up, Cassandra? What's up, Lamage? I won't say your real name. When I say we're not gonna say your real name, let anybody know you up in here. We're gonna have a funky good time. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this whole what Fazon said on Vlad about black folks and reparations. And then I want to just talk overall, just give an overall talk on, what it is, this whole reparations thing. What are some ways we can counteract these talking points these sorry ass niggas be making? You know what I mean? The checking in from Houston, that's what's up. I know some dope people down in Houston. I also know some assholes in Houston too. But overall, Houston's a good city. I like Texas. Houston, Dallas. I've even been in San Antonio. I've been in Austin. Austin was weird. The women in Austin, in Austin 10 is in LA 5. In Austin 7 is in LA 2. And anything below 6 in Austin just needs a prayer life. Let me put it like that. You might, if you below a 6 and you born and raised in Austin or San Antonio and you a 6, yeah, you might as well go ahead and marry yourself a meth head, because I don't see too many people that aren't on meth getting with a chick from Austin that's a 6 or below for that city. Mecca from the DMV. What's up, Natural Immunity? Yeah, DMV 10 is a 10. The DMV area, y'all got some beautiful women, boy. Woof! Shit. A DMV 10 is a 10. A DMV 9 is a 9. Oh, shit. This is some good shit right here. That's how you know it gotta be, and this is no disrespect to the gay people out there, but it gotta be some chemicals in the water, because for a dude to be gay in Atlanta and DC is full of them. DC, oh my God, DC, what's happened to Chocolate City? Chocolate City now turns into is now Dookie City. The fuck going on? But it gotta be more than what they telling us, man, because them women are so goddamn beautiful in DC and Atlanta, and to have so many dudes choosing Caboose Lube and buying caboose lube over the natural woman, it gotta be more than what they telling us, folks. And again, no disrespect to the gay people. I don't mean no disrespect to y'all. I'm just saying the increased numbers, like, we've all seen the dramatic increase over the last 20 years. Really over the last 10 years. It gotta be more than what they telling us. What's up, Quan? It seems as if they sending out notifications. My last live, they wasn't sending out shit on the notification side of the game. Yeah, it could be too much soy they die. I don't know. I don't know the answer. And you know what I mean? In my heart, and I'm not judging people who are like that. That's really ain't my style. I crack jokes on you motherfuckers because it's funny. Like, to me, it's just funny as hell. Like, you got all them beautiful women in the DMV in Atlanta, and you choosing exit wounds, not entry. You choosing to go running up in exit wounds, in the exit, in the Duke shoots. That's funny to me. You know, it's like, you know, it's just funny to me. You know what I mean? I judge them anything any different. It's just funny. You dig? But we talking about, hey, Miss D, that's a good point. You think gay men migrate to ATL for some reason? That's a good point. Because I do remember back in the 90s, my mom, she lost 2 hairdressers to Atlanta. This back in the 90s when, you know, before moving to Atlanta was popular. My mama lost 2 different hairdressers to Atlanta. And they were like, going to Atlanta. It was like, okay. So, let me tell you something. Been born and raised here in LA. I got a few people who went to Atlanta and I don't think nothing about. But usually when a dude moves from LA to Atlanta, I always think twice. I'll be like, all right now, nigga, why you really moving to Atlanta? Like, you could have chose Charlotte, Dallas, Birmingham. Well, I get why you didn't go to Alabama. I get that, but I mean, you got the DMV area. You got the motherfucking. Why'd you choose Atlanta? Huh? I always ask that question. I just asked that. Yeah, man. They in Jackson, Mississippi too? Natural immunity? Hold on. They in Jackson? Hold on. They have a Dookie Road in Mississippi? What? I mean, like an open, like open Packerville. It's like they have a whole shit packing section of Mississippi. I did not know that. Wow. Mississippi burning now. Shit, I guess Mississippi burning now means monkeypox. Yeah. I can see that, American Negro. I worked with a lot of kids that were gay, and most of them. That's why I don't talk about it much. But out of the people that I've worked with that are gay, I've had a lot of gay clients. Well over 50. And I'll go so far as to say 47 of those 50 cases, either they were physically abused or mentally abused, or both. In 47 of the damn 50 cases that I had, it was some kind of abuse going on. Nigga Josh Hawkins said Mississippi mud. Mississippi mud, you a motherfucking fool for that. This nigga said, yeah, you're right, Quan, it doesn't get talked about enough. As a matter of fact, I used to talk about it a lot more, but I backed off of it because a lot of these people, they're not ready to deal with their trauma. So they used to come at me real hard, like, what do you mean gay people were molested? I'm like, no, I didn't say all gay people were molested. I said there are far too many gay people who were molested for us not to address. And no matter how clear I would make that, no matter how clear I would say that, it's just too many of them to not address. No matter how many times I framed it that way, I would still always get labeled as some shit. So I say, you know what? I ain't been molested. I ain't gay. If these motherfuckers want something, they can come out and talk about that shit themselves. I'm not gonna speak up because it hurt my heart. I've dealt with too many gay kids to see that. So I don't think nobody should be abused. But I ain't about to be abused to save these motherfuckers. How you doing? Hi. How you doing today? What's up, Tino? You out? Okay. I'm gonna go up to the Improv later on. All right. Yeah. So, but that's what it is. No, Nigel, I haven't spoken on topic yet. I'm about to start on the topic in about 1 minute. I'm letting people get up in here. We're at 11:40. I'm gonna get on topic in about. I'm gonna close this off, and then we gonna get on topic because I ain't gonna be here all night. I'm gonna head up to the Improv tonight, crack some jokes. I'm not gonna be in the joke circle, but yeah, far too many of them have been molested or abused in some sort of way for us to ignore. But at the same time, I learned a lesson over the last year and a half. I can't speak for every injustice. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that we all have to learn. You gotta find your lane. You gotta find your lane and stay in that. Since I'm not gay, since I've never been molested, and I haven't. That community is going to need somebody who's gone through those experiences to step out and say something and be the orator of those issues. Because me being straight, unmolested, when I talk about it, these motherfuckers don't want to hear it. So that ain't my fight to fight. You know what I mean? But what is my fight to fight is reparations. Because reparations is due to all of us that are black. Gay, straight, bisexual, trisexual, where the fuck you is. If you black, you can trace your lineage to the 1800s. You are old and due reparations because your genes was not only the physical labor, but also the mental ingenuity behind this nation. Let me start off this talk on reparations talk as I round on into Fazon Love. I'm gonna lay the foundation to my point of view, and then I'm going to explain why Fazon Love is wrong in his assessment, okay? And we're gonna talk about this on a couple levels. And then I'm gonna get the fuck on out of here. Black people, for those who are said, okay, why are black people do reparations? California never had slavery, so what are the reparations around? Well, the reparations are around, in part, housing discrimination. If you're black and your family moved to LA between the 30s and the 70s, which my family did. My grandfather got out here. My grandfather, who just died this past June, Poppy moved out here in 1937 as a 13-year-old. And that man just died less than 6 months ago. And Poppy, thank God, had enough to leave his children. Had enough property and real estate to leave his children. Well, a lot of black people who bought homes, we were redlined in a small box, basically from downtown to Imperial, from Alameda to the 110, well, at the time, Broadway. And then the line went over to Western. And my dad and my mom were both raised here in LA. My dad was born in 1953. My mom was born in 1959. And I remember my dad and my mom always talking to me about how, you know, black people couldn't go past Broadway for a long time. When my grandfather bought his house, it was on basically near Slauson and Broadway, and Broadway was as far west as he could go. So my grandfather, I remember asking my grandfather bought his house from a white doctor. Well, when my grandfather bought his house, the banks didn't really lend to black people. So black people had to get loans at these exorbitant rates. And the doctor that sold his house to my grandfather, they were able to move out into the suburbs basically for the amount that they sold their house for at damn near 0% interest loans. And these houses came fully furnished. So if you were black, that automatically puts you behind the 8 ball. If you were black, you were buying a used house. My grandfather he said in 1953, he bought the house in 1955. My grandfather bought that house for $8,000 in 1955. And then a property around the corner he bought for like $10,000 like in 1960. Well, at the same time, if you were white, you could buy a house in the newly developed San Fernando Valley. You could buy a house triple the size for about 15 grand. And a lot of those houses came fully furnished. And you're talking about the white people were able to upgrade from a 2-bedroom or a 3-bedroom. They would upgrade from that to a 5-bedroom. And so when these people were allowed to move out to the suburbs, they not only had higher value houses coming into it, the houses appreciated at a much faster rate than the houses in the ghetto. So that's generational wealth that did not get passed down to my father and my uncles because my grandfather was forced into a neighborhood that he actually could afford. My grandfather could afford at the time. Like, all black people weren't broke. My grandfather was a hustler, so he had a job and he always had hustles. He could have afforded to move further west at the time, but he couldn't. They wouldn't allow him to. All right? So when you multiply that 1955 when he bought his house to 2022 when he died, I'm not going to put the value of my grandfather's house out there because I ain't about to tell you niggas all my business. But say houses in the area, and mind you, this is in the bottom of the hood too. This is in the bottom of the hood. Houses in that area right now are going for $700,000 to $900,000 to live in the bottom of the hood. But the houses where the doctor who sold my grandfather's house and where he moved out to, those houses are going for $2 and $3 million. Think about it like that. Let's say the smaller houses out there where the guy moved to. The cheapest house you're going to get out there is 1.6, 1.7. And we talking about it's a 5-bedroom house. Not that big. 1.7. So off top, when my grandfather passed away 6 months ago, off top, because of the color of his skin, that is $1 million less in value he was able to pass down to my father and my uncles. $1 million of value that was not passed down to my father or my uncles because of the color of my grandfather's skin. Okay? When we talk reparations, we have to think about it in these terms. These are dollars. This isn't how you made me feel because I'm black. This isn't, you got to do morally right by us because it's the right thing to do. No, motherfucker. My grandfather, and that's just one of my grandfather's properties. My grandfather died with a few properties. But in just one property, the color of my grandfather's skin cost my black family $1 million in generational wealth. That's just one property. My grandfather had multiple. So on the low end, if the houses that my grandfather bought in the hood and the retail space that he owns on the corner, if he bought where he was allowed to buy, if he were allowed to buy 7 miles north, 6 miles west, if he were allowed to buy any of those areas, if we're on the low end, that's about, I'm gonna give you a ballpark, a $3 to $5 million difference between where he was forced to buy versus where he could have afforded to buy. Again, he could have afforded to buy on those other side of towns. He wasn't allowed to. So that's $3 to $5 million in generational wealth that didn't get passed down because of where my grandfather was forced to buy. You dig it? So that's how we're talking. Mind you, my great-grandfather moved out here on my mom's side. See, I'm not like a lot of these implant LA niggas. I'm LA nigga, LA. Grandparents is fucking raised here. All right? That's just my grandfather. What about my grandparents on my mom's side? And where they were forced to buy versus where they could have afforded to buy. You dig what I'm saying? So this reparations thing is it a lot of money? Is it all that we're owed? No, it's not. It's not. Is it a low ball? Yes, it is. But it's cash. And we can get the rest of that shit on the next lawsuit. But give me my cash now, goddammit. But you got people like Fazon Love saying this. Fazon Love, who's Cuban, by the way. Fazon Love, who's Cuban. Old Fidel Castro ass nigga. Telling black Americans that the only thing black people are going to buy is Cadillacs. First off, I don't know a nigga under the age of 67 who wants a Cadillac. The least our brother Fazon Love could do is update his references. Chat room. I haven't looked at you. I'm looking at the chat room because I ain't been looking. Also, 126 of y'all in here. Hey, share it. Last I looked, it was 57 people in here. Now it's 126. Hit the share button, please. Hit the like button. God damn, I done got like triple the people up in this bitch since the last time I looked. But family, people listening. Do you know anybody, if you know 10 niggas, how many want to buy a Cadillac? If you just think about it. Out of 10 niggas you know, how many talk about buying Cadillacs? So, like, my dad got a Cadillac. My dad's always had a Cadillac. My dad's always going to have a Cadillac. My granddaddy had a Cadillac. Me and my brother, we ain't got no goddamn Cadillacs. I can afford a Cadillac. My brother can afford a Cadillac. And you know what we said? Hell to the motherfucking no. Hell no. I don't know anybody that... So, you know off top, the fact that he using a Cadillac reference, that lets you know where his mind is stuck. That nigga still stuck in the 90s. He must think He about to go film on the set of Friday tomorrow or something like that. What the fuck, Cadillac nigga? Hey, what's up, Larry? Yeah, that nigga sound racist. He do. He sound like any redneck cracker you done. He sound like the most Mississippi ass redneck racist cracker you done never heard in your life. All the niggas gonna do is buy Cadillacs and collard greens and so he says, yeah, you're right, Gray's like black people, we ain't even on rims like that no more. I remember rims was real hot in the early 2000s, especially when those spree wheels. Remember when those spree wheels dropped? What was it, like 01? When those spinning spree wheels dropped, 2000, 2001? Niggas was on rim heavy. Niggas really ain't really been on rims like that for well over a decade. Here in LA, cats really started pulling back from rims, what, 05, 06? It just stopped being worth it. But really, it's been well over a decade since black people have been spending money on rims like that. You don't see 26s like that. You don't see 22s and 24. And if somebody has 22s, you don't see nobody bragging about it. Like here in LA, if somebody came in and was like, yeah, it's got them 22s, we're gonna be looking at him like, you spent your money on some fucking 22s, nigga? I don't know how it is in other parts of the country, but here in LA, if a nigga come bragging about 22s, we looking at him like, nigga, is you 22 years old? The fuck is your problem buying? There's nothing wrong with buying 22s, that's you. But that's no longer anything to brag about. If you buy 22s here in LA, that's just, you just bought 22s. People are looking at you like, okay, you bought 22s. Cool. Gas so goddamn expensive. Ain't nobody, that's nothing to brag at no more. So you get Fazon Love using these 1996 references, 1976 references. Black people ain't gonna do nothing but buy no goddamn Cadillacs. And what we've seen in response, in my opinion, has been beautiful. Person number one right now, if you've seen the reaction, if you've seen, for the most part, people react towards Fazon Love negatively. Person number one, if you've seen, for the majority of the reaction towards Fazon Love has been critical and very little support. That's what I'm happy at. That's what makes, see, I look at that. I don't look at what these cracker-ass jokers say. And when I say cracker this time, I didn't mean white people. I mean these nigger crackers. I'm talking about black crackers, graham crackers. That's what I'm calling nigger crackers. That motherfucker's a graham cracker. What I'm seeing is the majority. Oh, you said TBA to short him? On which one? I haven't seen TBA Saturday or Sunday. I got to go back and listen to TBA. I've been so busy in my music history. Tariq hit me up last week about some stuff for the for the museum. So I've been so busy in my study. I'm literally reading 3 different books at once right now on music history. So I haven't been on my new black media. I haven't really been listening to anybody lately. But that's a good point, Quan. That's a good point. The mere fact that he was on Vlad TV says enough. And that's my question. First of all, Fazon's Cuban, so he's not even one of us anyway. But okay, whatever. I'm gonna play, for the sake of this argument, Fazon Love, because he does have black skin. So he's still on our team, just riding the bench. why would you talk to a fucking Russian? Say, remove color. Why would you be on American soil talking to a Russian about what America owes to Americans? Let's just take it from that point of view, because some of you niggas are afraid of race. It's a lot of niggas out there that are afraid to still talk about race. It's a lot of niggas out there that when they do bring up black, they want to say brown right behind it. Even though we see here in LA what's going on with the city council and all the brown people is coming out. Brown people come to your town to eat your lunch. And you got niggas still saying black and brown. And no disrespect to the brown. But that's just what it is. The brown come to eat your lunch. They don't come to share it. They come to take it. We know this because we see in the areas where they get any kind of a foothold in population here in LA, you can no longer get black DJs on the hip hop stations. They're all brown. The brown people are the ones in control of the hiring, and the brown people don't hire black DJs. The biggest lawsuits in California over the last decade have been brown on black. The biggest racism lawsuits in California over the last decade has been brown against black racism. This isn't me being racist. This is just me reporting the facts, okay? Here in LA, when USC got snatched out of my former district, I grew up in the whole LA County's meeting that you guys heard. See, to y'all around the country, that was a racist conversation. To me, my brother lives in that district. I grew up in that district. My family live over there. I got cousins that live in that district. I got friends who own businesses in that district. So when USC got removed from the tax base of that district, that's the side of LA. That's always been the side of LA with black people with resources. Like, it's always that side of LA. It's always been a mixture of hood and black people with money and resources, and it's always been a clean side of black LA. But part of the reason why it's been clean is because they get the money from USC's tax base that allows the roads to stay paved and no potholes. There's enough money allocated to that side of town to where black people aren't living in total depravity. Well, it was Mexicans who took that from us in a closed-door LA City Council meeting. But you still got niggas that'll say black and brown. So for all you scared niggas that still say black and brown, we're going to play it this way. Fazon Love, a Cuban, talking to a Russian about what the United States of America, California, owes its original tax-paying citizens. Black people are the first Americans to pay taxes. Most groups that came over here, especially the white ones, they came after. If you're from Greek heritage or Irish, not Irish, yeah, Irish too. You're from Greek, Irish, Italian heritage, you came later. My family was paying taxes before you motherfuckers. If you're a Russian, you definitely ain't got shit to say. Hell, the United States and Russia are beefing right now, so why the fuck you even over here? Vlad is from Ukraine. Why ain't Vlad fighting? He's either Ukrainian or Russian. He's one of those two, Ukrainian or Russian, same shit. Why ain't he over there fighting for his country, whether it be the Ukraine or Russia? Why is he talking about our shit? Why is he even comfortable enough to talk about our shit? And he's talking about reparations with Big Worm. And Big Worm said it best. Playing with my money It's like playing with my emotions, Smokey. So Fazon should know better. He's playing with our money, which means he's playing with our emotions. And Black Twitter rightfully let his ass have it. So, yeah, I didn't know he was Cuban either. I was finding out from all you guys. But that's the beautiful thing about the internet. We get to pass information to one another. And even though I'm here talking, I still value the information that you guys say to me. However minimal I read the chat room, I still value it. So that's what we're going through. I like to take it from that point of view. I'm not being personal towards Fazon. Every time I've run across Fazon Love, he's been nice to me. Hell, man, Fazon cool as shit. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say I've ever kicked it with Fazon, no. But being in the comedy clubs, especially when the comedy union was around, and I'd be in Enz's office, I was the owner of the comedy union. It was typical for Fazon to stop through. When I used to throw my comedy show at the comedy union, Fazon did it a couple times where I was he just happened to walk in on the night that I was doing a show, and of course we put him on stage. It's Fazon Love, why not? So I don't have any issues with Fazon Love. I'm not gonna say he's not funny. Fazon's funny to me. He is. He's funny. I'm gonna berate Vlad. Vlad is a bitch. Fuck Vlad. I don't give a fuck about no Vlad TV. But, I'm not gonna berate Fazon Love. I'm just gonna, politely say, bruh, sit your ass down. Black people, we up to some serious shit right now. We focused. And let me tell y'all something. Say this California Reparations Task Force bill fails, that don't mean we gonna stop. It just mean we gonna work 3 times harder. That's all. We not the baby boomers, y'all. If the shit gets suspended and fails in office, all right, cool. Let's start all over from scratch. So, but if you one of the people who if you're not for reparations, especially if you're our same skin tone, just shut up. And Vlad, I never would have known Fazon Love said this to Vlad TV had I not seen it on Instagram. Like, I had 3 or 4 people on Instagram share that clip to me. So I just basically screen recorded the clip off somebody else's IG. And I'm like, first of all, Vlad is still talking about Vlad. Why are you so obsessed with black people's reparations, Vlad? Like, Vlad, you make your money off black people. See, this how you know Vlad is. He's extremely racist. Vlad TV makes his money off black people and black culture. Vlad can make a fuck ton more money if he helped black people get reparations. Because what are black people gonna do? They're gonna support his sponsors or whatever movement he got going on. Say if Vlad apologized to Louis Farrakhan a couple years ago, and he either stayed neutral on reparations or supported reparations. I'm not saying he even had to support reparations. Let's say Vlad just stayed neutral. And black people got reparations. Does Vlad's stupid ass understand how much money that would mean for him? Because niggas spend money. We do. How much money goes to his sponsors? How much money goes to people wanting to hire DJ Vlad to party their event at whatever rate he charges? Because there's a segment of black society who, like Fazon Love said, will trick that money off. But here's the thing is, that's only a segment. Most black people ain't gonna trick their money off. Most black people are gonna find a little something to do with that money. When black people get money, we figure out what to do with it, nigga. Think about that. Man, you give me $250,000, $200,000 right now, I guarantee you give me $200,000, $250,000. That's gonna be worth $1 million in 18 months or less. It's gonna be worth $5 million in 3 years. I guarantee you. Give me $250,000 tax free. Man, if that 250 is worth anything less than $5 million in 5 years, I'ma feel like I failed. If that shit's worth 4.9 million, and I'ma feel like, Dwan, what the fuck did you go wrong? Yeah, shit. Hey, Quan S., what would you do with your architecture company with $250,000? What kind of equipment? You could put that $250 in one of those managed accounts at Goldman Sachs or over at Schwab or these motherfuckers. You can get that $250, turn that shit into $1 million line of credit based off that $250. Or hell yeah, if your credit is fucked up, you can get at least $500,000 off $250 and put that back into your business. Sometimes most of us who own businesses know, we anywhere from 30 to 50K from being able to scale up to make another 250K. Most black people in business are $100,000 away from bringing back in $1 million. Most black businesses are $25,000 away from bringing in $250,000. Am I lying? Am I lying? We ain't talking about these dusty, no good, sorry niggas. If you new to my channel, let me give y'all a warning. If you're new to my channel, we don't talk about the sorry niggas. If you want to hear about the sorry niggas out there are more than enough YouTube channels out there speaking to the lowest common denominator of black people. This isn't one. I speak to the people who either got it together or are striving to get it together. That's who we speak to here. Those who are actively striving to be their best. Because nobody's at their best. None of us. Not me, not you, not your mama. Nobody you know is at their best. But we are striving. So if you're new to this channel, I speak to the people striving to be their best. On whatever level that is. That's who I fucks with. I don't fuck, if you've given up, if you think black people are just gonna spend their money on rims and Cadillacs, this ain't the channel for you. Or if you think that way now, but you want to think bigger, I welcome you to stay around. But if you one of the people who think Black people are just down and out and deprived and we can't get nothing right. If you one of them old can't get right ass niggas, get the fuck off my channel. Yeah, and I'm blowing weed smoke in your face. This ain't the place for that. I've always said black people with a mindset of wanting to be their best, people with a mindset of challenging what we believe, we need a place to kick it too, don't we? Does everything got to be lowbrow? Is every time we talk about black people, do we always have to bring up the hood rats? Do we always have to talk about the gangsters? Which I don't consider gangsters because these same niggas let white girls walk dogs in the neighborhood at 5 in the morning and don't do shit. But let a young black man come down the street, look like he got a couple dollars in his pocket, you want to harass him. That ain't gangster. Some weak shit. So even the people we so-called, quote unquote, call gangsters, I say that shit in quotes. Because y'all only gangsters with other niggas. But do so-called gangsters gotta always be the topic when we talk about black people? No, this some real talk. Like y'all probably hear the frustration in my voice. And if you hear the frustration in my voice, that's because it's there. Do we always have to talk about the hood rats? Do we always have to talk about the single mamas who are on welfare? Do we always gotta talk about these niggas who ain't taking care of their kids? Why these niggas get so much attention? That's what really got me in my mind about this whole Fazon Love thing and him talking about our reparations. Why do these sorry, dirty, bummy motherfuckers get so much attention? We know they exist. They're always going to exist, black people. And let me say something to the black people who aren't dusty. Let me say something to the black people who do have your head on straight. Let me tell you something. The dusty, bummy, hood rat, slut mama, male thought niggas, they're always going to be around. We're never not going to have thoughts. We're never not going to have people like Blueface. Oh yeah, lightthemood.com, 40% off. Lightthemood.com. Get some of Jayla's candles, please. Them candles smell good than a motherfucker. Weed Smoke 22 is the discount code. But like I was asking a question today. I had to be reminded Blueface was that rapper that came out a few years ago that was rapping off beat. Cause I saw another video like of him like sucker punching his girlfriend's dad or some shit like that. And I'm like, why? Who the fuck is Blueface? Why is he famous? Why is every time I see him, he's either beating up his girlfriend or getting beat up by his girlfriend? And then the dude, the father socked him. And then today he socked the old man. Dude, what the fuck is this, man? I mean, I understand degeneracy and debauchery will always exist. But I can't. Don't share that shit on my timeline, people. Someone had shared that to me. And was like, Dwan, what do you think about this? And it was about Blueface. I guess the dad, he sucker punched the dad or whatever. I couldn't even watch the whole video. But someone tagged me in that shit. I was like, don't tag me in that, man. I ain't watching that shit. Look, light and dark will always exist. You don't understand what light is unless you've been to the dark. And all dark ain't bad, all light ain't good. I don't have judgments like that. All of it's, everything that we see in life is godly within itself. Let me say that one more time, and y'all can quote me on that. Everything we see, positive, negative, good or bad, everything is godly within itself. If they say God is all, what does all mean? Good and bad, fool. It's just some shit going on this earth that's more than my black ass can understand, and it's shit going on this earth that more than your black ass, white ass, who heard the fuck listen to me. Most of the shit that go on this earth, we don't have the mental capacity to understand. So certain things, I just let it be. Like, okay, it just is what it is. I get it. Personally, people like Blueface and his girlfriend and all that shit, stay the fuck away from me. On a personal level, I don't deal with drama. Once I identify someone that's dramatic, you can never be in my inner circle if you're full of drama. I mean, negative, like where there's always some shit going on. You always need to borrow money. You always need somebody to do this for you. You always need somebody to do that for you. And every time you go out somewhere, it's confusion. We all know people like that. Everywhere they go, it's confusion. It's an argument. It's a pissing contest. Them kind of people, I keep them far the fuck away from me. I don't deal with them. But at the same time, they have a purpose. And that purpose has nothing to do with me. So get the fuck out of my life. I don't want to deal with no Bluefaces and his little girlfriend or whatever and dad and shit. What is this? Part of living a life where you don't really judge people for what they do is keeping them the fuck out your hair. Don't deal with them. Don't tag me in that shit, people. If you tag me in some Blueface anything, I'm probably gonna go to, this is 3 dots next to your name. And you can hit, okay, unfollow. Have that person unfollow me. So you'll look up, you're not following me anymore, you're wondering what happened. First of all, because out of sight, out of mind, you're not even gonna think about my ass. But just say one day you see someone else retweet me, you be like, I ain't seen Dwan tweet in a long time. Let me go check on his profile. And then you see a little white button that says, or blue button that says follow. And you gonna be like, I thought I'd been following him. No. Dwan made you unfollow him when you tagged him in that fucking Blueface fight video or nigga debauchery bullshit. So I said all that to say, even if you one of them black people who you feel got your shit together, it ain't no point in wishing the Tatianas, where the fuck Blueface song name is, it ain't no point in wishing them away. They're always gonna be here. The same way rednecks are always gonna be here for white society. White trash is what they call them. The same way every society is going to have an underbelly, we're going to always have one. We're going to always have a segment of black society that we're not proud of, okay? So we don't have to wish that shit away. It's always going to exist. Always. Even after reparations, we can have 200 reparations packages. And after that 200 reparations package, it's still gonna be a segment of niggas we just don't like and don't fuck with. I appreciate that, Amar Woods. There's always going to be a segment that we don't fuck with, okay? The key is not to wish them away. The key is to allow them to be and live out their cards, live out their development. I see it all the time when I read people's cards. We all got 13 cards we got to live out. We got 13 cards, all of us. You, me. Tell me your birthday, I'll tell you your card. Well, not now, because I don't know all the cards off the top. I don't know all the dates off the top of my head. But we all got a 13 card spread. And we living out our cards. Thing is, I ain't got to deal with you. And at the same time, when it's time to talk about my reparations, the same way I don't deal with them motherfuckers when I'm not getting reparations is the same way I want to deal with them motherfuckers when it comes time to talk about reparations. They don't come up. Yo, hood rats who would spend all their money on nails and car and bullshit, they don't get considered. They're not part of consideration when it's time to talk about my reparations. Fazon Love, Vlad TV. Fucking Vlad. Vlad look like he smelled like dog nuts. Like, Vlad looks like he smells like a golden retriever's balls. And that's just what he smelled like when he walking down the street. Vlad smell like golden retriever nut sacks. That's what he smells like. And so, to Fazon Love, Vlad, you don't get to bring up our degenerates and say that's the reason why those of us with our heads on straight, that's why we can't get what's due to us, because we got a segment of degenerates over there. Those degenerates have always been here. They will always be here. As a matter of fact, the reason why they're so degenerate is because white supremacy ingrained that shit into them. What about maybe those degenerates over there? Have you ever thought about this shit? Maybe those degenerates are degenerates because they're products of buck farms, where they just had maybe their grandchildren or great grandchildren of motherfuckers, because they used to put the bag on a black child's head and make him fuck his mother. Maybe people like Blueface, maybe these degenerates descend from the motherfuckers. So we need reparations for that too. How about that? What's up, Ebony? I ain't been looking at the chat room. Oh, Larry, your bitch ass in here? What's up, Breeze? What's up, HH, Markeith, KZL? Good seeing y'all. Nah, Ebony, I'm not pausing. Vlad TV. Vlad smells like Saint Bernard Dick. That's what Vlad smells like. All right, no pause. What's up, Netta J? So I said that to say I don't fuck with degenerate black people. I don't give attention. Like, when I be seeing like the shit that Whack 100 be doing out there, I don't like that. I don't agree with that degeneracy. I think Game is one of the dopest rappers like out there. Like, it's been last month was a 10-year anniversary of Jesus Piece. One of my favorite albums of all time, Game's Jesus Piece. But every time I see, like, when you see him, he's always doing some shit. He's always either beating somebody up or doing something. Be like, dude, you a grown-ass man. It's just certain people, everywhere they at, everywhere they people are at, it's some bullshit. I remember one year at the Drew League, it was the Drew League championship game. And this nigga game had James Harden on his team and like 3 other NBA niggas. And they lost the playoff game in the Drew League because Game was taking all the shots. How are you a rapper? And Game is a good basketball. I'm not saying it's bad. I think Chris Brown, it was Game, Chris Brown, James Harden. I think Nick Young was on that squad. But you had Chris Brown, Game, James Harden, and this nigga Game was taking all the shots. I'm like, you got Mr. Step Back. James Harden is one of the top, in my opinion, one of the top 5 shooting guards to ever play basketball. James Harden. And you taking all the shots, nigga? So, yeah, I think Frank Nitty, Breeze, Frank Nitty wasn't on that. I don't think Frank Nitty was on that squad. That was the year that Frank Nitty was actually on, I think Frank Nitty was on the Blazers. Frank Nitty was playing with Horace, I think. He was playing with Horace that year. Yeah, Larry, that nigga Game waved James Harden off. I'm like, yo. And I would see this shit year in and year out of the Drew League. But it's certain people that carry certain bad vibes and certain bad energies where it's like, even though I respect that person, I'm not going to judge you. You got to live your cards. Look, man, that's why I don't judge people who are who are newly just finding out what's going on. We all wake up at our own time. I used to be bad at that. I used to be hella judgmental. I used to be that nigga that'd be like, man, you didn't know that? That used to be me 10 years ago. But I had to look in the mirror one day and ask myself where that was coming from. And part of growth of being a man is being a better person and being the best person you can be. But you can only deal with issues as they come along. And I used to be the kind of person that would judge people for not knowing things. And I would look down on people for certain things. And I had to ask myself one day, where did that come from? And the truth of the matter is, that came from my own insecurity. Why am I using myself as an example? The things that we judge other people for the most are generally born out of an internal insecurity we have about ourselves. Let me say that again. The things we tend to generally judge people the harshest on, they're rooted in some sort of insecurity we have about ourselves around that same topic, around that same theme. And most people won't admit that, but that's not my problem. Again, this channel's here for people who want to get better. Like me. I want to get better every motherfucking day. So the way I see it, when I'm talking to you niggas, I'm teaching myself twice. That's how, when I'm talking to y'all, that's how I look at it. When I'm talking to y'all, that's giving me the opportunity to teach myself twice. Because it's one thing to kind of conceptually understand it and know it, but when you speak it to other people, you hear it back in your own mind, and it makes it more concrete, more real to yourself. Like when I first started, I started teaching myself how to play the drums at 14. By the time I was 17, I was teaching somebody else how to play the drums because I got to relearn. I started comedy, and within 11 months of starting comedy, I hosted my own comedy night, putting up first-time comics, teaching young comics shit that I just learned so I can grasp it in my mind. I remember when Brent Taylor was my DJ at the Comedy Union. I'd be like, now Brent, this is what you gotta do. When you get on stage, I only been doing comedy goddamn 8 months longer than Brent at the time. But to this day, me and Brent talk about how much those days shaped both of our lives, his and mine, comedically. Why am I saying all this? It's not about judging people for where they are, where they come from. And this all ties back into Fazon Love. I'm not judging Fazon Love for being an idiot. I'm not even judging Vlad. Vlad is just a hoe. Like, if herpes had a smell, I'm sure that's what the under neck of Vlad smells like. Like, underneath Vlad's neck probably smells like herpes. Fuck Vlad. I'm not judging him. But he's in our business. He's a fucking Ukrainian that ain't said shit about the Ukrainian Nazis. He ain't said shit about the conflict in his own homeland, but he talking about our reparations. I ain't judging Vlad, but Vlad is a hoe, and we know it. A culture vulture hoe. Vlad smells like a possum that's been dead. Oh shit. We back. We back. I got my Wi-Fi on, shit. Hey, but like, I'm gonna still be coming, y'all. I'm redesigning my home studio, y'all. I just got my last set of lights. If y'all go to my interview I did with our brother Afro Elite, you're gonna see what the new studio looking like at the home. Now I was about to get a 4K camera because I'm using like a Logitech camera. But like, nah, I'm going full 4K for you niggas at the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, I'm about to get a 4K camera on you motherfuckers. And the home studio is gonna be nice. So I'll be doing more shows from my computer. And I just ran a landline for my desktop. So we ain't gonna be dealing with none of that. See, my desktop was tripping for a while. But I ended up finding out what it was. It was that first Apple update. That Apple update wasn't shit. When they finally started sending out the Apple update back in September, that update wasn't about shit. But they fixed it, and then I had to update all my apps and clean a lot of shit out, so my computer back to humming along. I just bought a Cat 8 Ethernet cable. I just got a Cat 8, and I didn't run that bitch under my house. I called the handyman to run this shit up under my house. I'm looking down, making sure he cleaned I'm making sure he closed that motherfucker right now. Oh yeah, he closed it. I had the handyman run my Cat 8 cable. I got the fastest internet that AT&T DirecTV has to offer. And we about to really be getting it in from the home studio. We about to really be getting it in. Yeah, you usually get cars on my shop. I appreciate that. Yeah. Hey, Larry. Hey, man, I'll slap you so hard it'll smell like somebody frying bacon, bitch. Yeah, Breeze Omega, I know 6K and 8K, but look, this is, I'm going full on a Canon. I'm getting a Canon, goddamn, or a Sony, probably a Canon. I'm getting a Canon 4K just to be using as a webcam. I think that's enough, bruh. And plus, Ecamm, my software, only stream, all the streaming software out right now, maximize streaming 4K. Ecamm is, I have the highest level of Ecamm, all that stuff. 4K is as high as they go. They don't even stream in 8K. So getting an 8K camera would be overkill right now. But I'm getting a 4K camcorder as a web camera. I think that's enough. Because I'm not going to, look, nigga, much respect to you, but I ain't going to be on camera doing the robot. You dig? I'm just going to be sitting at my desk with incense burning. I'm not going to, yeah. What's up, Taisha SX? Taisha just had her baby. Everybody say, what's up to Taisha? Hey, Taisha, could you please put in your Cash App? Taisha SX, if you still up in here, put in your Cash App. I would love for y'all, if y'all just had $1 or whatever, I want y'all to Cash App Taisha. She just had a baby. And mods is like, if one of y'all mods, I'm on my phone now, so if one of my mods could like inbox me Taisha's Cash App, I'm gonna put some money on it too when I'm done talking to y'all. So like if somebody could inbox me Taisha's Cash App, but I don't know if she's still up in here. I looked at her comment late. Sometimes folks be in and out, but if you're still in here, put in your Cash App. It'd be dope if we give you some money for your baby. Yeah. Oh yeah. So please, and please, oh there it is. She just posted it. And Taisha, please inbox me your Cash App because again, I'm on my phone. I can't do it right now. But I will definitely put some money on it. And y'all, Taisha did not ask me. I didn't even know she'd be in here. I just saw on social media she had a baby last week, and I think that shit dope as fuck. So just on general principle, I would love if everybody, if all you had was $1, but I would prefer if you did like $5 at least. If everybody could at least put $5 and bring Taisha's baby in here with good energy. I think that's the energy we want our babies coming to the earth with. We want the community to come together and welcome these babies, and not just happy birthdays. We want to put some money on this shit. You get what you put out, black people. We want reparations. Let's start putting real money in each other's pockets, just on general principle. And we already do that. I'm not saying we don't. We already do that. But we can always do better. But we can always do better. Hell yeah. Miles, could you repost her Cash App? It's $Taisha SX. TIEESSEXEX. I'm going to say that again. $TIEESSEXEX. The last 3 letters of her last name is the reason why she has a baby. Yeah. You did? So peace to you. Congratulations. But to tie a button on all this, I don't have to be around you. I don't even have to like you to respect you. I respect everybody because you're born human. I respect differences. I still have respect for people. I don't necessarily like being around degenerate ass hood rats. I don't. But I still respect them because they're still God's children. But at the same time, they do not get a say in my reparations. He said we're avoiding Irish twins. Thank you, Quan. Quan just put the link to her Cash App in the chat room. So, but yeah, no, niggas, this was not rehearsed. This just because I saw Taisha in the chat room and that was from my heart. That's what this is. My heart told me to do this. And so I listened to my motherfucking heart. If you don't, even if you listen to the replay of this, don't send me shit. If you wanted to cash at me anything, send it to her. Please. I want that baby that she has coming in here with that monetary love. I want that baby to feel that love. Our babies need love. You dig it? That's why I don't get into male-female gender warring. Black women have been hurt. Oh, God. Oh, but the black man is the most oppressed. And ain't nobody talking about the fucking kids. Yeah, the black man's oppressed. Yeah, the black woman has been hurt. But who got to deal with it? The black kid. The black child is the one that's born here. Ain't got no goddamn options. They can't afford to pay rent nowhere. They got to live up under your crazy monkey ass and deal with your black woman scorn and your black male, my daddy wasn't home, so I'm going to be a bitchness. It's the babies that got to deal with your foolishness and nonsense. And don't nobody think about the babies. That's why sometimes I be like, man, fuck all these adults. Y'all be thinking, I be laughing because sometimes people be like, Dwan, you be saying anything. You be saying anything. You don't care. And I don't be thinking I don't care because I do care. I do. Like, I was at a shindig yesterday. And at the shindig, it was a couple people that was like, man, Dwan, you be saying anything. I be seeing your Twitter. You be saying anything. And I be like, no, I don't be thinking I do. But truth is, I'm a Gemini. I do care and I don't care. I don't give a fuck about these grown people. I love the babies, man. Shit. I love the kids. The kids are born into your bullshit. So when I be listening to women talking about something, now is the time for women. What about your daughter? No, man. Then you hear these hurt-ass niggas. No, man. The women been messing everything up. Man, that's why. Well, what about your son? Why your son love LeBron James more than he love you, nigga? Yeah, I don't mind offending y'all. If your son love LeBron James more than he love you, I'm talking about you, nigga. I'm the biggest Magic Johnson fan on earth. But I remember when I was 7, I used to love Magic. Magic used to coming down the lane, look to the left, throw to the right, cow. I love Magic. But when I was 7, man, I thought my daddy could beat Magic Johnson in basketball. My dad only 5'8". But when you a kid, That's taller than me. When I was 7, I remember asking my dad, do you think Magic can beat you in basketball? And my dad was like, man, Magic's almost 7 feet tall. I was like, you almost 7 feet tall. I mean, that was really a conversation I had with my dad when I was 7. I really asked my dad, do he think that Magic can beat him in basketball? I used to think my dad could kick Sugar Ray Leonard's ass in boxing. Because my dad used to do karate. I remember watching the Sugar Ray Leonard versus Hagler fight when I was a kid. And I remember thinking, man, my daddy would beat Sugar Ray Leonard's ass. I really thought that as a kid. I was like, man, my daddy would knock Sugar Ray Leonard out. Nigga, my daddy would turn Sugar Ray into Sugar Lemonade Leonard, nigga. I really thought that when I was a kid. I thought my daddy could beat Magic Johnson in basketball and kick Sugar Ray Leonard's ass. For real, for real. Hey, Larry, my dad asked about you. My dad was like, how Larry doing? I said, he's still being a bitch. Nah, I didn't say that. I won't cuss in front of my dad. I just said, nah, Larry weak. That's all. He ain't doing shit. But Pop said, man, tell old Larry I said what's up. That was not yet. That was today. Cause I was with my parents today. My dad was like, man, tell old Larry I said what's up. Yeah. And then my mom was like, he come back to LA? I was like, I hope not. I hope not. My mom asked if he was coming back to LA. I said, I hope not. We got enough hoe ass niggas in this town. But nah, I just don't care because nobody care about the kids. So I'm like, and most people. So when I be listening to grown ass men that are still hurt over women, and I hear grown ass women that are still hurt over men, and both of you niggas got kids, my first thought is, fuck you two niggas. What are y'all putting in the mindset of them babies? So part of my solution to that is we need to get back to treating the babies like they part of the community. We need to remember the babies. And for you feminists out there and you metaphysicists, when they say this is time, when they say we're in the era of the return of the divine feminine, what's more feminine than taking care of the babies? See, the return of the divine feminine doesn't mean women get into power and now they can rule like men. No. And I'm gonna say this because y'all know I don't get too much into it, but let me tell you something. Here's where feminism messed up. And I'm gonna get back to the Fazon Love thing before I close out. This is why feminism was never gonna work. This is why it never was gonna work. It was doomed from the beginning. They were basing a woman's status on a male scale. It was like being a feminist is basically teaching women how to operate as better men. And women can never beat men at a man's game. Y'all can never beat us at a fist fight, no matter how many Woman Kings you watched. And I ain't talking about the occasional drunk nigga that got mollywopped by his angry girlfriend. I ain't talking about that either. I'm talking about 99 times out of 100, 997 times out of 1,000, 990,000, 999,200 times out of a million. Y'all ain't gonna beat us in a fight. Y'all not gonna beat us in the shit that we do. Women are gonna win on a woman's scale. And part of it working on a woman's scale, women have a level of, women know how to solve problems without physicality. It's a much more complicated way to solve problems. Matter of fact, using a physical means to solve issues is actually beneath the level of human beings. Humans should never have to resort to violence to solve problems because we have brains that are constructed to solve problems through using our minds and our brains. Our brains are situated, our frontal cortex is situated to solve challenges without using physical means of harm. And women are more in tune with that than men are. Return of the divine feminine means using your femininity, your femininity to shape the landscape of the environment. And part of that is how you take care of the children and what you put in the children's mind, because women are the first teachers. So in order for a woman to be in her full female divinity, she has to have that motherhood teacher level of love beyond understanding. We call it the Queen of Hearts in cardology. She has to have that. And when the women get back to being the nurturers that patriarchy has taken them out of being, that's when they're going to start to win. Because as physically strong as men are, when a woman steps in her full divinity and she walks in that power, men don't challenge that. Men don't challenge that. And fellas, hit the number one if you know what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about you niggas that are around ratchets. I'm talking about when you're around a woman and she walks into a room and she declares a particular thing and you know she ain't playing. As a man, you don't challenge that. It's not about the fact that I can beat her up in a fight 999,000 times, 999,920 times out of a million. It's not about that. It's about her essence. When she's in that energy, there's nothing as a man you can do about it. That's God talking. So when women return to that, that's the divine feminine. That's when the man's going to have to step down. Because a man is still going to lead. The man was brought here to lead. That's why we have tough skin. That's why we have denser bones. We clear the roads. We clear the path. We knock shit out the way. A woman leads with her essence. She leads with her vision. and the men go out and create the path. It's a synergy, people. It's a synergy that makes it happen. A synergy. The whole being greater than the sum of its parts. But when women step into that, it ain't a damn thing the men can do about it. But if women think the divine feminine is being the woman king, she's only going to win in the movies. Look at this shit. Let's look at TV over the last 20 years, especially the last 10 years. Every TV commercial, I was watching a Gatorade commercial. They got these two, they got a Mexican woman boxing a Mexican man, and she swings and like knocks his ass out cold. Like, what? There's an Aflac commercial where you got Gabrielle Union, 10 years older than Dwayne Wade, professional athlete. She's basically kicking his ass in everything in the workout. You got Dwayne Wade looking all tired and Gabrielle Union all fresh and fit, ready to go. Everything on TV for the last 10 years, for the last decade, has been women kicking men's ass. Wakanda. Everything on TV. How's that working out in real life, ladies? Because you got these trans people going up into women's sports. And when these trans people are fighting women, women are walking out that ring with a half a jawbone and cherry gushers popping out their eye sockets. That shit ain't working out too well for women in the actual wrestling ring and the boxing ring when they got to deal with these trans dudes, is it? So, what does that tell you? That's not the answer. The answer ain't women beating men on a man's scale. No. The answer is women getting totally back into who they are and controlling shit through the greatness that only a woman can control it through. The Quran said they're divinely out of order. Right. That's real talk, Deep Impressions. We don't understand why they support these trans dudes. But I'm going to end this by saying, going back to the Fazon Love, we just spent the last few minutes going off and talking about the debauchery that's going on here in America and between black Americans and just Americans in general, and how, yeah, there's always going to be bullshit. There's always going to be bullshit. Bullshit will always exist. But bullshit does not define your political agenda. And that's what I'm going to close this out by saying. The bullshit does not define your political agenda. Your political agenda is what it is. They don't say white businesses don't get all of these fucking advantages because white people are still fucking their cousins, do they? Do they say, okay, let's not create this new package that's going to funnel a lot of money into white neighborhoods? We're not going to do that because the white people in Kentucky are still fucking their cousins. Do you see that? Do they say, oh no, we're not going to give money to Asian businesses because all Asians are going to do is open up a massage parlor where the women are sucking and fucking for a few dollars and change.
I'll be right back.
What up?
What? Tea right there.
Oh, it's tea?
Yeah.
I'm going to see what's up to tea. Oh shit, my nigga tea here. But that's what I had to say, y'all. I'm about to go have fun, and the homie out front. So, fuck y'all. Well, love y'all. Y'all have a good one. My name is Dwan. And remember, what's up, T? There are no perfect messages, only perfect messages. I'm out, niggas. Getting off YouTube.